Excellent. Thanks, Chrissy. It's really pleasing to be here for the first time for Aureka, given we're just over 12 months old on the ASX. So it's excellent to present the story. And as you might have seen, Victoria's on the move recently. We've got plenty of ounces. We're drilling away. And you've seen some mining approvals in Victoria. So it's a really excellent time for investors, I think, to be focused on Victoria. We're a relatively new story. We're working hard and we're drilling away. And I think the more that you look here, the more value you will certainly find. These are the snapshots that you should take away, and I can see that I've got about 14 minutes to speak. That's quite a long time for me, and I'll show you a couple of short 1-minute videos of the work that we're doing on our flagship projects, the Irvine Project, where we have 300,000 ounces already, and also up at St Arnaud on the Comstock project, which is, I call that our near-term producer. So let's look at those two 1-minute videos when we get to them. What you should think about for us is that I managed to pick up this portfolio back at the end of 2023. I bought it from an administrator for about $500,000. We embarked on the recapitalisation after that, and we came onto the ASX late in 2024. We didn't waste a minute, and in January 2025, we commenced drilling just on the fringes of the current JORC resource that we have at the Irvine Project. And as you might see from our results and announcements, we had a lot of excellent drilling success in the second half of last year. So it does mean for a small company like ours, we've got a 20 mil market cap. We've got a significant JORC resource of over 360,000 ounces at the moment. We've got a clean balance sheet. We're well funded with $5 million cash in the bank. We've assembled an excellent director and executive team, and everyone's aligned with you guys to work for the company and to work for the share price going forward. So we're very excited with the projects and the team that we've put together. Quick snapshot of our company. We're trading at about $20 million market cap. As I said, we've got $5 million cash in the bank. We did do a placement in December, which was very successful. We went out to raise $2 million and we came back with 3.6. Very privileged to have some quite prominent investors participate. We're backed nicely by SG Hiscock, Signet, and some other prominent investors there. And it's really made up of ultra high net worth type of investors around Melbourne mostly, but we're also obviously expanding as we do more and more marketing into Sydney and elsewhere. I should just say, if you look at the EV per ounce on that $15 million of enterprise value, it's well under $50 an ounce. So comp sheets these days don't really start until about $100 an ounce. So there's plenty of upside. And if you look at the previous company that had these ounces in their portfolio, they traded between 100 and 150 mil market cap before they embarked on some production in Queensland that didn't work out too well, but created the opportunity for me to acquire the portfolio. We've assembled an excellent board of directors. Graham Hunt. So Graham sold Lihir Gold to Newcrest some years ago, obviously for $10 billion. He's the chairman of Aurelia, he's chairman of another couple of ASX companies at the moment. I myself come out of nearly 20 years as being a mining investment analyst at top-tier investment banks in Sydney, London, and in Melbourne before I started working with smaller capitalisation companies, and that's where I came across this opportunity. Richard Taylor works at Newmont, excellent hands-on director, the real thing and the real value that we've seen created in Victoria over the last 5 or 6 years, or even a shorter period than that, is Southern Cross Gold. Angela Lorrigan, our technical director, has been closely associated with Southern Cross Gold. She works there regularly, and she's an excellent technical director for us. And importantly, her expertise is in narrow vein gold in Tasmania and Victoria. Joseph Story, you might have seen him around the last couple of days here at the conference. He joined us in May last year from Barrick Corporation, where he was running an exploration team in West Africa. Prior to that, he did work at Fosterville and at Castlemaine in Victoria. So we've assembled an excellent director and executive team, and importantly, we're aligned. There's bonuses and incentives at higher share prices, 20 up to 40 cents. Joseph's incentivized to double the JORC resource or get to 1 million ounces. And obviously we're looking for outcomes. We're looking for FID decisions over the next 3 years, or hopefully we can attract a takeover, given how close we are to other mills in Victoria that are all operating. So we started life 12 months ago with 300,000 ounces of the resource, and importantly last year we increased our resources by nearly 20%. So that was declaring another JORC resource on what I like to call the near-term producer project, which is 70 k's away from the other JORC resource that we have, but importantly, we're scoring those runs on the board. Our flagship project is in the Stawell corridor. It's only 16 k's from the operating Stawell Gold Mine. That's privately held. Let me take you through a quick visual of what we're doing at Stawell.
Aureka's flagship project is the Irvine Gold Project, located 230 kilometers west of Melbourne. Multiple mills are proximal to the project, including the Stawell Gold Mine. Irvine is within the Stawell corridor, which hosts the 5 million ounce Magdala deposit. Gold deposits in the Stawell corridor typically form on faults at the margin of basalt domes. At the Irvine Basalt Dome there are 2 lodes called Resolution and Adventure, with a combined inferred mineral resource of 304,000 ounces gold and an exploration target of 280 to 420,000 ounces of gold. The exploration focus at Irvine is to extend the down plunge position of the Resolution Lode, where drilling has identified multiple mineralized structures. The exploration team continues to develop their understanding of the gold mineralization at Irvine, allowing for improved targeting of the high-grade gold positions. The eastern side of the Irvine Dome hosts multiple exploration targets across the 2 kilometers of strike between the lodes. Diamond drilling at Resolution has also identified multiple flanking basalts on the eastern side of the basalt dome, which create additional target positions. Recent drilling and reprocessed geophysics has opened up a further 8.6 kilometers of prospective strike. Regional geophysical modeling has identified 3 prospective basalt domes.
I'll finish it there. And I think really what you want to take away from that video is that we've inherited a terrific amount of drilling. Over $20 million was spent proving up that JORC resource that we do have. And the size of the prize is huge for us because, as I said before, we're 16 kilometres away from a 5 million ounce producer. The Stawell Gold Mine's been going, and we heard some history about it the other day when North Stawell Minerals, they're north of us, also associated with the Stawell Gold Mine. But they've produced over 5 million ounces there at the Stawell Gold Mine since its inception, and over 2.5 million ounces since 1982. You can see between the Stawell Gold Mine, which is around that Magdala basalt, and we've got the Stawell granite. So we're on the other side of that Stawell granite, and our tenements in the Stawell corridor are encompassed within that 70 kilometres that you can see all the way going south. So there's plenty of further exploration targets for us to look at in the years ahead, but we're absolutely focused on extending and making the most of the JORC resource we have at the Irvine Project there. That JORC resource was declared in March 2021 when the Aussie gold price was 2,500. So we've got a little bit of natural upside, and we've been successfully drilling into the exploration target area in the last 12 months, which is terrific. So just take away that we've really got our eyes on 1 million ounces here at the Irvine Project alone, let alone before we really get into those other targets in that 70-kilometre corridor as we go south. This is some of the highlight drilling around the main lode at the Irvine Project. So the Irvine Project's made out of the Resolution and the Adventure lode. Most drilling has been here at Resolution, and you can see around that red circle there, RD48 was really our highlight hole last year. We reported that in around October, 10 metres at 12 grams, and including the subsection at the super high grade, 183 grams. Importantly, as you can see from us, and we distinguish ourselves from perhaps other high grade exploration success stories in Victoria, given that our project is obviously expressing itself from surface. And if you look at the Stawell Gold Mine, that was obviously mined from surface. You can see from here We've got a really good start. There's an open cut outline there before our current JORC resource also expresses itself into an underground potential as we go south and deeper. So we've got the drill rig today positioned on the edge of the JORC resource. We're following up that hole number 48. We're up to about hole number 50 this week. It'll be completed in the next 5 or 6 days. But it's the Resolution where we're really focused. As you can see in this graphic, Resolution contains 260,000 ounces of the 300,000 ounces that we have at the Irvine Project. And the key for us now as we go forward, we've successfully drilled on the margins of the JORC resource. Now what we want to do, and we raised money in December, is to mobilise a second drill rig to do the more ambitious drilling so that we can penetrate that gap in between the Adventure and the Resolution lodes and really express to the market that we can fast track this thing towards 1 million ounces. So the Adventure lode there hasn't had as much drilling, so we look forward to drilling in the gap and the Adventure lode in the coming months. Now that is our company maker. That project can get to 1 million ounces. Going to take a little bit of time. St Arnaud and the Comstock project is our real near-term producer, as I like to call it.
Exploration is currently ongoing at the St Arnaud Gold Project, located 200 kilometres northwest of Melbourne and close to multiple operating gold processing plants. The St Arnaud tenement group extends for 65 kilometres of strike, capturing the entirety of the northwest trending gold lines. Historical production at the St Arnaud area produced 400,000 ounces of gold at an estimated grade of 15 grams per tonne. The focus of Aureka's exploration activities is at the Comstock pit on the Nelson line of workings.
Doesn't get better than that in Victoria. The
resource at Comstock is focused on the Comstock Shear and the Walker stockwork. In May 2025, Aureka released the maiden mineral resource at Comstock, totalling 56,500 ounces of gold at a grade of 1.21 grams per tonne. Exploration activities will focus on testing to the north and at depth of the current mineral resource. Aureka has also identified an exploration target, totalling 112 to 116,000 ounces gold at Comstock. High-grade exploration targets also exist on the new Bendigo line, as identified from previous drilling close to the historical workings.
All right, so as I tried to butt in there during the video, it doesn't get better than this in terms of looking at your Victorian projects and saying, right, do we have an old gold mine? We certainly do have an old gold mine here, last mined in 1995. Whenever I take any investors out here, and it's certainly accessible from the public roads, everyone can't wait to get this into production. But I do say you've got to realise there's not as much gold here as there is in the Irvine project down the road. However, last year we did 2,000 metres of drilling here, very successfully. We had multiple occurrences of visible gold. There's also a silver associated with this project. So it's a fantastic project. And in terms of getting into near-term production, look, it speaks for itself. So we're really focused on that at the moment. And this is some of that visual gold. The highlight hit was 1 metre at 65 grams just north of the current pit. And we're successfully expanding this pit as we go. I'm starting to speak a bit quicker now because I've got 2 minutes to go. But really what I want to focus on is that we have milling options. 45 k's away is the Wedderburn Mill. That's privately owned and in ramp up and completely underutilised. Those guys have come to us and said that they would really like to help us get the St Arnaud Comstock project into production. We announced that in December at the same time we did that placement. So you can see a couple of pictures of that mill that we're potentially going to use for the Comstock pit. So the idea here would be selective high-grade mining, generate a little bit of revenue using that Wedderburn Mill, and then we can also use the proceeds obviously as we go back and drill the larger project that really is the company maker. So 4 takeaways from Aureka. We're only 12 months old, but we certainly do have a lot of value. We've got a lot of ounces, less than $50 an ounce. And as I said, the size of the prize is huge. We're 16 k's away from the 5 million ounce Stawell Gold Mine. We are funded $5 million cash in the bank. We've been drilling since January last year. We're drilling today. We're about to deploy a second drill rig in the coming weeks so that we can really deliver those more ambitious holes, given that we've had the success on the margins of the current JORC resource and also there at the Comstock pit. Victoria had 4 mining approvals last year, which was really fantastic to see. So I think you can appreciate that we're on the move, and we've already advanced some of the first permitting work that we need to do here on the Comstock pit, which is a really good, terrific step forward for us, so that we're really advancing from explorer into near-term producer or developer. And we've really got a strategy here. We've got not only exploration upside and the ounces there, but really we've got a strategy here of turning this into a proper business. We're developing a relationship with that mill 45 k's away, and obviously the larger project, there's a significant amount of potential there. So.